All right, and welcome back, everyone, from Western New York Gaming. I'm Tom Davis, alongside Ryan Dunn, and we're getting ready to start our Penultimate Round of Swiss, round 4 of 5. Round 4 is going to feature two decks that we haven't seen yet. On the left is going to be Ben Swanson at 2-1, playing Malira Coco. And on the right is going to be Brett Dumain, playing the Invitational winning White-Green Elves, mainly the green portion. So I haven't really seen the Elves deck in action a whole lot. I just know it's very fast and very green.
Yeah, it's very explosive. It's also more resilient than you might expect.
Between like Elvish or Azumi and Elvish Archdruid.
Yeah, and it can rebuild.
Azuri, sorry.
It can rebuild from no board pretty quickly between Collected Company and I can't remember what the name of the spell is. I think it's Lead the Stampede, but it doesn't look like this version is running that.
Sure.
But so Collected Company is going to be the main way to refuel. So this is a Collected Company mirror. This Malira Company deck is going to look a lot like the Abzan decks that we've seen before. It is Abzan color, but instead of running Eldritch Evolution, it's running Collected Company, and it's focused on the Malira combo, which is Malira or Anafenza plus Kitchen Finks and Viscera Seer.
Yep.
And this version is not running the Spike Feeder combo.
Sure. Both players are starting up with the game, so let's move on over to game number 1. Brett is on the play on White-Green Elves, and he's going to lead off with a Shocked Temple Garden to put him to 18. He's going to start with a Heritage Druid by the look of things.
I mean, the
typical start for Elves.
Like Elvish, it looks like he has an Elvish Mystic in hand, which means I'm expecting to see 2 Elves here and an activation, which is really strong.
Yep. Ben just is going to play a Windswept and pass.
So now we have 3 Elves.
Dwarven Elite.
And Heritage can tap these 3 Elves
for 3 mana.
So this is one of the optimal starts for sure.
Yeah, very fast.
And it's not a good sign for Ben that Brett has to decide which elf to play here, because it means there's options.
Turn to Azuri.
All right, this was quite good. This does open up Azuri to removal early.
Sure, and there is some there's some amount. There's really not much, especially on turn 2.
Yeah, so you wouldn't necessarily want to do this against a Bolt deck.
Sure.
And you kind of want to save Azuri for the turn where you can play him and overrun immediately.
And of note, there are no paths in the main deck. The only removal that I'm seeing is Fiend Hunter and Murderous Redcap.
Yeah, I think that's like a pretty normal version. Some people are running Abrupt Decays or Paths main, some aren't.
Okay. I would have expected 1 or 2 Abrupt Decays, at least right now. But teach their own.
It's just, I think it's reasonable to be really focused on the combo game 1.
Yeah. So Ben is going to go ahead and fetch another Windswept Teeth. Likely going to shock himself in the process, or at least get a white source.
Yep, and play an Anafenza.
Yep, basic planes into Anafenza. So Ben's at 18. Yep. So part 1 of the combo is assembled.
Yep. And
what's rough for Ben is that it looks like the earliest he will be able to Coco is turn 4, because he doesn't have a mana accelerant.
Yeah, and without having a Viscera Seer in play already, Ben can't combo next turn, because he needs to be able to play Kitchen Finks and a Viscera Seer.
Yep.
And Brett...
Elvish Visionary is the play from Brett.
Oh, that's a Visionary. I thought it was an Elvish Mystic in the opening hand. I apologize.
It's all good.
He did still have the card needed to produce 2 Elves on turn 2, though.
Yep. Going to activate Heritage Druid here for 3 mana. Going to drop Nettle Sentinel.
Yep.
And is that Dwarven Elite?
Yep. So we can see another activation to produce 3 mana.
Yep, and it looks like he has one
to deploy.
Looks like you have 1 mana floating.
I played Dwyan's Elite and Nettle Sentinel, right? So
yeah. Dwyan's Elite is going to come in for 3. Or for 2, rather, sorry. I was thinking the Elf Lord.
And it's worth... I guess it's not worth... I was going to say that Azuri, he has mana up to regenerate with Azuri, but there's actually not...
Yep.
Besides blocking, there's no need to regenerate right now.
Yeah. And Ben's going to go to 16 after that attack.
Yeah, after that attack.
Ben's going to drop a Swamp here and is going to play Kitchen Finks. There's part 2.
So if he can survive a turn and draw a Viscera Seer or have a Cord, he can win. I don't see either of those cards in his hand.
He does have a Birds of Paradise in hand. I don't know if he just drew that.
He must have drawn it this turn or last turn.
Yeah.
Alright, so Azuri, Azuri's Overrun effect can be activated multiple times a turn.
Yep.
Though if you're tapping your elves in order to activate
you're not getting much value out of it.
Much damage in.
Yeah.
But he can do right now. He can get an activation out of it and tap the 2 lands and only tap 3 elves. Which
because that'll send
will leave him with
1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 power
minimum
base
9.
plus 15. So
does that give trample as
yeah,
well?
this, and it gives trample as well. So this is going to
very close
blocks,
to a lethal attack.
So 19. It's
he's just swinging.
I believe that
leaving 3 up.
Yeah, 3 up and 2 lands for the Azuri Overrun. So I'm pretty sure Ben can survive this attack, but
at a cost.
This might not be enough of a block. So right now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So I think
21 before damage.
I counted it as 21 the first time before any blocks, but it's actually even 21 after the first block. So if I'm doing the math right, this is actually lethal. Because that's... We'll see as they add it up. Because Azuri is +3/+3. I guess...
He should go down to 3 since he blocked with Inoffensive. He stayed off lethal with that second block.
Gotcha. And then, so he went to 1.
And there was the cord off the top.
That hurts.
That hurts so. I mean, to be fair, he didn't have the second green to play it.
Yeah,
he only had 2 green sources.
He only had 2 green sources.
Until he drops his green sources to land.
Oh. Catacombs, sure.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I meant. Like, so Brett had pseudo lethal.
Yeah.
To just like make Brett
to force the issue.
To make Ben lose his board.
Yeah.
And just checking. Do we have Pontiff in the board? Because Pontiff is great in this matchup. I mean, sorry, I meant the main.
We don't. There's no Warzov in this player.
Wow, 75. zero Pontiffs in the 75 is
questionable.
I think that's one of the excellent bullets that this deck has access to.
There's Coco. And he didn't see the answers he needed.
Yep.
So Ben Swanson is going to concede game 1. Brett Dumain is going to go up 1 game in a very fast game 1. Elves versus Malira Company.
It's conceivable that Collected Company could win the game on the spot right there. It would need to hit exactly an Anaffenza and a Viscera Seer, though.
He did get the Seer. He didn't get the other piece.
Unfortunately, Malira wouldn't be enough because the Kitchen Finks is a 2/1, so if he sacked it, it wouldn't persist.
Definitely.
But if it was Anaffenza, then Viscera Seer would enter at the same time and give a bolster trigger to put on the Finks, and I'll offer infinite life.
Yep. So looking at sideboards.
Arbitrarily large amounts of life, sorry.
With Ben down 1 game, he's I'm looking at... I almost think Eidolon or Rhetoric is a must play here. I mean, it is a turn 3 play, so a lot of his stuff's going to already be on the battlefield. But it is an efficient blocker, being a 1/4. If there is even roughly a slow start for Brett, and with Ben being on the play, I think it's reasonable. I don't think it's guaranteed, but it's reasonable.
It really depends on what you're cutting for that card, because Elves,
probably
after the early turns, there's very many hands for Elves where they can operate by playing 1 card per turn, especially if it's like play this threat, attack you on your turn, Quarter Company, my turn, like Azuri Overrun.
Yeah.
It can very easily string together wins and operate normally with Eidolon of Rhetoric in play.
Other cards I could see coming in here, the Path to Exiles and the Abrupt Decay and the Maelstrom Pulse. I think he has to maximize on his removal here.
You want removal, absolutely.
Yep. I don't really see much else. Courser or Crufix can fringe gain him life, but it really doesn't do much against a full board of Elves. And maybe the second Anaffenza to make his combo a little more consistent.
That's Anaffenza the foremost.
Oh, right. That's
the
the 4/4 where something else attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the green, white, black card.
Dredge.
Yep. Alright, so never mind.
Alright, so let's see. Moving on to the Elves deck.
Fracturing Gust making an appearance yet again.
Yeah, so I like the Path to Exiles here. So the Path to Exile is important to break up the Malira combo, which is just the easiest way for the Malira Company deck to win in this matchup, because the beatdown race isn't really that realistic. Aven Mind Sensor is coming in.
Very good way to make the chords less effective.
Yep, makes the chords less effective.
Can you bring up Chameleon Colossus?
Sure, I'll bring up Chameleon Colossus.
Both for my benefit and the streams, because I have no idea what this card does.
It's a weird one. It's my understanding that Chameleon Colossus is for like the Jund matchup.
Yeah.
I'll play
It has protection from black, I know that much. So Chameleon Colossus, 4/4, Changeling, prot black, and for 4 mana can get +X/+X where X is its power.
And it does not get trample.
No, it does not. So probably not the best inclusion here.
Not coming in here, but it's an interesting card.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, I'm not... I'd have to think about it a little more to understand. I've seen this in the board before. I don't know exactly what it typically comes in against. So it doesn't come in against the decks that I play.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd see it a lot more.
Maybe Jund?
Yeah, I mean, that's... I know it does come in against Jund. I don't
Sure.
know what else, though. I'm sure it's more than just that. For it to warrant a slot.
Sure.
Though when you're playing one color with a light splash, you don't have access to a ton of sideboard stuff. But if you're playing white, that gives you access to like a lot of really good cards.
Yeah. So Ben looks like he's mulliganing. Brett has kept his 7. His 7 includes the Aven Mind Sensor we were just talking about. So this is where we get into the white portion of Brett's deck. This is where the white shines. It gives him all the relevant removal he needs.
Yeah, it's really there to give you good sideboard
Correct.
material. And white, realistically, white just has the best sideboard cards in the format.
This looks like a much more keepable hand for Ben than what we saw last time. Looks like Fiend Hunter, Path, Eternal Witness, 3 lands.
Ugh. That's not a great hand.
It's not a great hand, but I
Being
think you
able
have to
to,
keep it.
So getting back a Path with E-Witness
He's on the play.
is like a pretty decent plan. The problem is you end up just dying to mediocre beatdowns until you string something together. So
Yeah.
basically, my issue with this hand, sure, like I get that it's on 6, so you can't have it all.
Yeah.
But it's not a great 6. You're missing.
No, it's certainly a medium 6.
Yeah, so you're missing combo pieces, and you're missing the ways to find any of them.
Yep.
And this isn't. It's like really, really tough to string together a beatdown draw against elves.
Definitely.
If they have like lords and whatnot.
Yep. Ben opened up with a Razorverge Thicket into a Noble Hierarch. For those that didn't already see that on screen. Brett opened up with a Shock into a Fetch. So he's going to go down to 17, and it looks like he's going to cast a Elvish Mystic. Now he does have a Coco in hand. I did see that while he was shuffling through. So he's probably looking to accelerate as quickly as he can into that. Mm-hmm. And he also has the Aven Mind Sensor on what will likely be turn 2 as a potential play.
Yeah, I think. So does Ben have some like Haymaker? Not really, right?
Not really. He has the combo. He has Spike Feeder combo along with Malira.
Yeah. So in order to
and a very quick Fiend Hunter on the Elvish Mystic to reduce his ramp.
Yep, Fiend Hunter the Elf. That's that saying is right.
Yep.
So
Fiend Hunter the Elf.
I didn't catch what land he played. Was it another Thicket? Yeah.
Yeah.
So in order for Ben to string together a good beatdown hand against Brett, I
don't see another land in his hand.
Kind of like needs to hope. Oh, does Brett not have any other?
No, I think he was leaning pretty heavy on that Elvish Mystic.
I wonder what he's asking here. Maybe.
What happens
so
if I shell Fiend Hunter?
He actually has a lot of Elvish Mystics.
Well, he has a Lawnmower Elves.
So, yeah.
So Ben essentially time walking Brett there.
Drew a Visceral Seer, which is one step to getting a combo.
Yep.
So I was saying, in order for Ben to string together a beatdown draw against Brett, I mean, obviously Brett can just have a very clunky draw like this, which works too.
Ben attacked for 2.
Yep. But, like, Ben would need to draw a good solid chunk of removal to get rid of the important pieces for Brett, and then rely on the fact that Brett, like, kind of only has the Cocos for card advantage.
Yeah. So Brett draws a Chord of Calling there. Didn't get to see what the last few cards were, but he drew, he drew a land.
Yeah,
my
he drew
bad.
a land.
He had the Chord. So he has Chord, Coco, Aven Mind Sensor, a white card that I don't see the name of. I want to say that is.
I kind of like.
Was that Essence Warden?
Can't quite see.
I mean, that's the only other white card that I know that art. Soul Sisters piece.
If I catch your well, it's green, right?
No, it's white.
Essence Warden is the color shifted Soul Sister.
Okay. So
it has the weird. It has the weird border.
Yeah. Okay.
I see an E-Witness. I think that
I
is.
do see the E-Wit. Well, just going to play the Mind Sensor on his own turn. Not sure I agree with that play. Just in terms of raw playability. Because that lets him Coco in response.
This was at the end of... I believe this was at the end of Ben's turn. It still runs into the same problem, but when Brett passed, he committed to using his mana to cast this. And then when you're constrained on mana, you can't just waste 3 mana on a turn.
Yeah.
So he just grabs another combo piece.
Yep.
So... Anafen's is a really good one here because A, it helps with the beatdown strategy, and B, all Ben needs is
a life gainer. Yeah.
Just a kitchen fix to win. I mean, our red cap also wins again.
Yep. Any of his persist threats.
He can't cast the red cap, but...
Correct. Not with his current mana base. Oh, that was just a lawnmower elves. It was just shiny off the glare.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I thought it was a white card. My bad. So Brett could conceivably cord for 2 here. Or, no, cord for 1, rather. I think he's just going to play his Dorps.
Yeah, I mean, when you play your 1-drops, you can still cord for 1.
Mystic.
They're like, if you cast a cord, these guys are neutral.
Yep. Mystic and Lawnmower. And he's going to bash him with a flyer for 2. Ben's going to go to 18.
Right, so Ben is really looking for this last combo piece. Brett, similarly, not necessarily a combo piece.
Brett now has his acceleration that he needed since turn 1.
Brett has the mana to start getting his lords into play, which is
now,
really important.
Ben drew a Path to Exile here. So he can Path the Aven Mind Sensor and then court for something relevant if he needs to.
Well, he can court for the kill, right? If he has Path and...
Yes, Toaster. We do have access to the deck list, but we are not posting them. We will talk about them, but we won't post them.
So, just to clarify, Ben has Path and Cord?
Yes.
He has a Cord in hand?
No, Brett had a Cord in hand. I don't think Ben does.
Well, he does now.
Oh, he does now. Drew a Cord?
It looks like...
Does the Malira player have a Linvala in his sideboard? Yeah, no, he does not.
Yeah, I don't see... A player earlier had one in the main deck, but...
I think it's good to play main deck right now.
Neither. Yeah, it's...
And any of the decks that can, your evolution decks, your mid-range decks, those types of decks, I think it's a very good main board card.
I'm trying to figure out what Ben made room for by not having like Pontiff anywhere or Linvala
Voice of Resurgence.
Yeah, he also has like a Selfless Spirit main, which I actually like.
I don't mind the Selfless Spirit. I'm a little confused on the Voice, unless he just knew he was going to go straight. Like, Voice is good if you're in a control matchup, but it's fair to medium at best against the linear aggro. So
yeah, I mean, I don't usually play this deck with 0 voices in the 75. I like having at least 2. Sure. I know some people have gone so far.
See, if I'm playing it, I want to play it main deck.
That's fair.
Then again, I'm a dirty evolution player who just likes getting value off of it. So
do life totals again here. It's right now 14 to 11.
Yep, right after the attacks. There's the path on the Mind Sensor. Looks like a Coco in response. Ooh. Looks like he started searching his deck. Interesting. Okay. Well, he did pay the proper mana for Quarter Calling.
I think if you tap the correct mana and say what cards you're playing, that's legit. Yeah.
So he's going to cord for 2 and get a Spell Skite.
It's just called a mechanical error if you put the wrong card face up on the table.
Yeah. So Spell Skite's going to be the play.
So he's shuffling up and probably just going to search again.
Well, he already looked for Spell Skite.
Yeah,
Spell Skite dropped, he redirected.
But Spell Skite's getting pathed, right?
Oh, right.
Right,
and there we go.
and get a little basic.
Man, a shortcut would have been nice there.
Oh, sorry. 14.
It's fine. Sorry, I wasn't keeping track of the life total. My bad.
Yeah, so the reason Brett has to do this is because he knows that
Brett's very
Ben.
behind this game.
Yeah, Ben has the combo though. If
Yeah.
there's an argument for Ben just going for it.
I mean, Ben pathing the Aven Mind Sensor signals to Brett that he has the endgame.
Well, I mean, we know that Ben picked up the
cord.
cord from a yard, so
Yep.
if he doesn't draw a Finks here, there is an argument for just going for it because there's 4 Finkses in the deck. But
I think I'd go for it.
He's just not under pressure, which is the thing.
Yeah. I still think I go for it here.
I think I might.
I'm greedy, so I would go for it. But I think I might. Okay. Malira to bolster.
I mean, you can still go for it. Oh, this is a. He's gonna go for a path without on the stack. Yeah, I should let that resolve. I wonder if he's bluffing that. I didn't see that in his hand. We do know he has a white card, right? So that probably.
I don't think he has a white card.
Well,
I don't think he does.
Oh, you were saying that might have been the Llanowar elves that you saw.
Yeah.
He's a Coco, which is good.
Yeah, Coco's decent.
We know about the Coco because the Coco was face up on the table.
Going all in here.
Squad.
Squad.
So this is 7, right?
Looks like it. I didn't see the life total.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the life total. I'm not sure what Brett's
I don't think the
life
dice is up to date.
Because if he was at 9 and just took 7, he'd be at 2.
Yeah. Well, there's the Coco. Cord, land. 2 cards I couldn't see. Looks like several lands, cord, and something else. He might have whiffed.
And Ben doesn't have to worry about Brett just assembling a combo here, which is
No, he didn't
pretty
whiff.
nice.
Rex Sage.
Rex Sage can target
nothing.
so good thing that Spellskite's not there.
Yep.
I don't remember if Rex Sage is a May or not.
I don't think it is.
Come up for me.
It doesn't. No, actually, I can read it. When Reclamation Shades enters the battlefield, you may destroy target artifact or
that's
enchantment. Sure.
Fine.
So it'd still be okay. Well, what will Ben do? Yeah, Brett's at 2. He didn't adjust the dice, but I'm going to assume he's at 2 after the attack.
Yeah, I mean, based off of no attacks there, I think it's reasonable. So we know Ben has a cord, and I think that's just a land.
That's just, yeah. Yeah, it is. Looks like another Razor Ridge ticket. Or no, Windswept Heath, my bad.
This is kind of like a statistics question now.
Yeah, so life totals are confirmed 14-2. We
Yeah.
just had our spotter up front verify that for us.
So if Ben alpha strikes here, looks like, yeah. So Brett only has 1 toughness creatures.
Yeah.
So for Brett at best, it's just a bunch of trades.
Yep.
Instead, he's gonna get in with a exalted trigger.
So it's going to
Prompting
be
a jump
a
block.
4/3 Eternal Witness. Jump block by the Rex Sage, it does nothing.
I guess he values the mana more than
guess so.
1 extra power, which makes sense.
Sure. I mean, you're an Elves player. Looks like you're going to play the Windswept Heath out in his hand and pass
So
back.
Ben's trying to play the combat game, which can be dangerous against the elf deck. But he can always, if Ben is forced to go for it, he can still just go for it at instant speed.
I do like what Ben's doing, though.
Yeah,
using his life total as a resource until he has to try and cord. Because if he
When
picks up a path or any kind of removal, he can just win.
By putting his opponent at 2, it's extremely hard for Brett to
Be able to do
get
anything
any
reasonable in
attacks
terms
in.
of attacks, yes.
How do you feel about just cording and hoping to get a red cap?
I'm greedy, I'd snap to it. 100%
So
of the time.
what Ben can do is put cord on the stack and then just sack his whole board to scry and try to find a red cap. I wouldn't recommend doing it, but
It's something you could do, and that's a Maelstrom Pulse
all right.
off
So
the top.
at least Brett has the correct distribution of 1-drop. He's just got 2 of each.
Oh,
But
man.
I think
Maelstrom
this
Pulse,
is-
the Aven Mind
Because
Sensor.
he can just cord for a red cap. All right, like this is
You can cord for anything here.
yeah. So you can cord for red cap, do infinite damage, make his creatures infinitely big.
I think that's what he's going to do.
Seems probably like a strong one.
Or he just gets red cap and kills him on the spot. He's a 2.
I think this might be the older guy. So it's just like overkill multiple ways.
Choose your death. Pick one.
That's why I was talking about the end of turn, put cord in the stack, sack all my creatures, try to find this red cap.
Yep.
But, drawing and removal spells.
There's
a little safer. It's a path on the Viscerous here. Yeah.
Oh.
Scry?
Yes, let's scry.
Right. I guess he just kept on top.
He must have. So do you get... I think you still just get red cap
Yeah,
here
you get
and
red cap and win the game. I mean, did he actually cord for the correct amount?
He did. He corded for 3.
Wait, he scored for 4. Right?
1, 2, 3. Yes, 4. I didn't see them when Lyra tapped. I thought that was a land.
Alright, let's, Ooh, what?
Okay.
I guess
did he miss the win, or did he take out red cap?
We're checking the deck list right now.
Interesting. He might have taken out red cap.
Against the elves?
He might have? You never know.
I think if you just cast red cap against elves, that's good, right?
Look, I'm no
He might
elf
lose
player
this game because
of that.
Jeez, and that was the insane Coco. That's game.
Yeah, that's game. That looks like game from here.
That's matched, right? Like, he just taps. He taps he does the overrun.
Oh my gosh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And he certainly could have corded for 4.
I think he did, right?
We got a 3 drop.
What else did he? Oh, he cast Ewit.
Yeah.
And the Seer. Oh, he did cord for 3.
So why don't you cord for 4 there and just kill him? He's at 2.
Well, he didn't know that he wasn't playing around path.
Sure. But even with the path, he still got to resolve cord afterwards.
Right, but he already paid the mana.
I mean, I think you still play it safe. Tap the extra dude.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying
Yeah.
it was an error.
Sure.
I think he just thought about getting a Kitchen Finks, not playing around path.
Sure.
So he tapped 3 for Ewit, and then tapped
1,
3
2,
creatures,
1, 2, 3.
2 lands, and the Viscerous here. Oh, that's rough.
That's real rough.
And of course, Brett Coco's into arguably like the perfect
Heritage Druid, of course.
Well, I mean, he Coco'd into Azuri and Elvish. No, it's Elvish Archer. The one that taps,
Archdruid. That's correct.
The one that's going to make 10 mana this turn and double overrun.
Yep. Jeez.
This is certainly lethal.
So I almost want to say that was a punt, but I'm not positive that was a punt.
I mean, I think the proper terminology in the booth is it was an interesting line, right?
Note to self, if I'm ever on camera and they say I took an interesting line, it's the bad line.
I mean, we can do the math here.
We can.
But I'm 100% sure it's lethal.
Yeah, it's lethal. Wow. Let's wait to see how he arranges his blockers. Brett went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Oh, wait. I think he's actually at 13 here, which does not matter, but...
Just rub it in, give him the one less health.
Man, it has to feel bad, though.
If you're thinking as Ben and you had the win if you corded for 1 extra, yeah.
Maybe he did side it out? I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, that would be the only explanation for
I feel like if my
it.
opponent's at 2, I'm just cording for 4.
And winning a game.
Yeah, like, I mean, you have to be aware that removal stops the combo.
Yeah. I mean, we know what's in Ben's hand. He can't use it. I think he's just making sure he wants his blocks to be like that.
He's thinking, if I wait long enough, Brett might forget where he is and not activate Azuri.
Activate one mana for each creature you control. That's a lot of elves. And that's it. Alright, so certainly lethal. Brett is going to take this game and match 2 games to 0. Brett looks to be moving on to our top 8 rounds. A little refreshing to see a different archetype make top 8.
Yeah. All right. Well,
And I'm gonna go check real quick and see if we have another match. And in the meantime,
yeah, that match was certainly something.
yep. In the meantime, let's take a very quick commercial break. We'll see where we are, and we'll be back in just a
See you
moment.
soon.